When you think of electrics in Thailand, you might think of a scene like this. Mad spaghetti wiring, a whole host of dangers just waiting for a storm so that the whole block can lose power. However, I'm here at a tower block in Thailand that's newly built. I'm intrigued to see whether the wiring in new build properties in Bangkok is anywhere near as hideous as the wiring you see traipsed across the streets. So in today's video we're going to take a sneak peek into the inner workings of a wiring centre in a tower block in Bangkok. Hit a thumbs up and subscribe and let's get into it. So I'm here on the 40th floor of this building in Bangkok, and each floor has its own electrical room. However, this one's locked. But I think I found a sneaky way to get into one of the electrical rooms on the other floors, and it involves going through this fire exit. I've got the emergency lighting in here, which is slightly different to what we have in the UK using a plug and socket arrangement. And then there's quite a lot of interesting conduit work. But what I'm going to try and do is go down to another floor that's not currently open to the public, because a lot of these apartments are not inhabited yet. I'm going to see if I can find an electrical room that is open and take a look inside. Greetings from the future. It's Bali Jordan here. Yes, I've moved on and I'm tantalisingly close to filming another episode for you out here in Indonesia. But there's one problem. I've been scrolling through the YouTube stats and I've seen that 74% of you who watch our videos regularly aren't subscribed. So the question is, will you subscribe on this video? I'll leave that with you. The thing is, if you subscribe, it really helps our channel to grow. It helps more than you might realise. And the more our channel grows, the better the videos we can make for you guys. So if you do want to see another episode like this, if you've enjoyed this episode, if our videos have ever been of any kind of value to you guys, it really helps if you hit the subscribe button. Back to Thailand. Now, if you are a viewer of our channel and you are from Thailand or somewhere similar, I would love to know in the comments what all the labelling and colours are all about on those conduits, because I have no idea, but I'm guessing that they are specially colour coded. Maybe FA is fire alarm. The purple one I would be guessing might be something to do with data. And then these coloured pipes up above presumably are cold water and hot water. So we're here on the 39th floor. I'm going to have a look and see if I can get into the electrical room here. Now this is where my Unilite head torch really comes in handy. I always take it travelling with me. If you want to get a cheeky discount on any of the Unilite stuff, there's a link below. You can get 25% off all of our stuff. Wow, well this is interesting. Let me flip the camera around and show you what I'm seeing in here. So as I walk in, there's two cabinets on the right here. This one, no idea what it says. It's got some kind of testing and commissioning date on it. I can't get in because it needs a key. This one though, looks like I can get in. Okay, so this is the TV. Master TV head end from the floor, so I'm guessing that big thick cable there is an incoming and then it splits out, and you've got all these splitters here for the various floors, which is quite interesting. There's a drawing here as well, and it looks really nice and neat, so that's pretty cool. I'm guessing this is fibre, so there's a load of what look like glass fibre cables. That is one thing that I've been really impressed with so far, is that the internet in the room has been amazingly fast. Now this looks like the telephone kind of system. So you've got a whole plethora of different wires. It all looks very nice and neat, I must say. Whoever's done this, I'm pretty impressed. And they've got a wiring diagram inside and stuff. I don't have a screwdriver, otherwise I'll take the lid off and have a closer look at this. But they've got all these big trunking systems running all the way around, and And then what I really like is this conduit here. It reminds me of when I worked in the Netherlands. They are clipped to a kind of a uni-strut, so very solid, and these clips are like fireproof. So it means that, you know, not only is the conduit itself fireproof, but also fireproof fixings. And again, everything seems to be color coded, which is quite interesting. I'm not quite sure what the colors mean, but I'm guessing it's something to do with like normal electrics and fire electrics, something like that. And then this big trunking running all the way down. I'm guessing this is basically a riser cupboard. And up there you can see there is a fire seal between each floor, and the conduits and the trunking go all the way up. I'm guessing this is something to do with fire alarm, because it says FA/A. So presumably all of the stuff in here is just kind of data related and not actually mains wiring. So we're going to have a look and see if we can find a mains wiring cupboard somewhere as well. Okay, well that was hot in there. I'm a bit sweaty. Another thing that's interesting here is you've got these cupboards. Now I can't get into them, but I'm guessing that there's communal distribution boards for the public areas here. Oh wow, okay. This is interesting. Boom. Basically we've got all of the pipes coming up and down. And they're plastic pipes, but they are huge. And then this is a massive, I'm guessing, something to do with the sprinkler system, because there is a huge sprinkler system throughout these buildings. So here you've got VS, VW, VW, WTP, BP, DN feed, CWDN feed, CW up feed to roof tank. So there is a swimming pool on the roof of this building. Actually, no, the swimming pool's on the other building. But I mean, there are over 1,000 apartments in these two buildings, so it must take a huge amount of water to run these buildings, and also for the safety systems to have enough water to put out a fire if necessary. Well, so far it all looks pretty neat. The only complaint that I've got is that some cheeky beggars left their rubbish on the floor here, which is quite a shame really, because otherwise it's a very neat plant room. But what I want to see is the big heavy stuff, the mains electrics. Let's see if we can find those. Okay, so this one's open. Aha! I forgot to turn the light on in the other one, that was a bit stupid of me. There's actually lights here, but this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is open in this one, so we can see exactly what's going on. And it looks like some kind of smart lighting system here. These look like relays. And it's quite interesting because again it's so neat and everything is labelled, which I love to see. So we've got all these various little relays with out and return wires. Presumably then these relays activate contactors or something that does the main switching, because this looks to me like it's all low voltage. There's a nice wiring diagram here, so I'm going to try and figure out what it all does and then I'll explain it to you. Okay, so I made a complete boo-boo there. It's not anything to do with lighting. Of course, it's fire alarm. I should have thought of that, because in the cabinet below it said FA on it. This one says FA on it too. So presumably that means fire alarm, and I think what it is basically all the signals and relays to say, like, if there's an alarm, where is an alarm, and then to activate various actuators and things to, I don't know, say like turn on a ventilation system or close a ventilation system down, stuff like that. Now the funny thing is, you know, this building's really new, and at the moment all of the fire alarm sensors have got plastic caps over them still, so it's almost like the system's not actually been fully commissioned yet. I'm probably lucky that there's not like a tamper switch in the door there and I don't set the whole thing off. Also in here it's interesting because we can see the fibre a little bit better. So here we've got the kind of fibre splicing stuff going on. It looks like they're using single mode fibre, and they've got these little SC pigtails, and it looks like they've got kind of some loss readings or something like that here from maybe when it's been tested. Things are labelled as well, so that looks nice. I mean, I don't know that much about fibre, to be honest, so all of you fibre nerds can let me know in the comments if I'm completely screwing all of this up. I've never seen this kind of, it's almost like bell wire, but presumably it's fibre. I've never actually seen that before. It's something that maybe is unique to this country. It looks like this is the main incoming cable, and then it splits off. It looks like it's got 4 tubes in it or something. Either that or I'm completely wrong again, and that's actually a power cable. Let me know all of your thoughts about this in the comments. Now this TV box actually has a socket and a cooling fan in it, and that's because it's got an amplifier in here. Amplifier is quite warm, so in order to dissipate the heat from the amplifier, they've installed a little cooling fan, which is quite a nice idea. Right, well that's all very fun, you might say, but where's the big stuff? Where's the heavy power? That's what I want to find. And I'm guessing that as this is a mirror image of the floor above, this room is the same on every floor, so we might need to look on the other side of the building to see if there's an equivalent mains room there. Right, this is a lesson for everyone who works in these kind of rooms. You should definitely lock the doors, people. Otherwise, a nosy electrician might come in and risk his life poking around in all of this expensive and scary equipment. So don't do this at home, guys. That's a caveat for you. But this is very interesting. So check this out. This is a massive bus bar that runs basically the entire height of the building, and it says, warning, install bus bar end closure, busway end closure before plugging this unit into the last opening of a busway run. It looks like it's got some kind of isolation switch. It's a 2000 amp bus bar. That is incredible. I mean, that's incredible for me, but I know some of you sparks out there, you work on some really big stuff, so let me know if you think that's completely pathetic. I mean, I've got the power. I could basically just turn the entire power for the whole building off in here if I wanted to. And there's no CCTV in here, although there is in other parts of the building. But let me walk you through what I think this all does. And again, correct me in the comments if you think I'm wrong. This is all foreign to me. So let me tell you what I know and what I don't know in here. So this is a D-line busway, right? It's actually D-I line 2. Now D-line I am familiar with. It's one of the few things that's not foreign to me here. They make big heavy equipment. In fact, I think D-line got bought out by Schneider Electric. So that's why you can see on here, this is actually a Schneider Electric label on it. So it's a D-line 2 bus bar trunking system, 415 volts, 3-phase neutral and earth, and it's rated at 2000 amps, which sounds about right for a building that's got nearly 1,000 apartments in it. Basically, this contraption here taps into that bus bar. So if you're not familiar with it, what a bus bar is essentially a massive rail of copper that you can then tap into to bring power off. So every house in the UK has a bus bar normally in their consumer unit, and it's basically a little copper bar like with little teeth on it like a comb, and each of the circuit breakers comes off of that bus bar to provide power to various circuits. This is just a huge version of that. Essentially, it's got massive rails of thick copper in there, presumably it's copper, and then off of those we tap with this thing. This thing is enabling us to isolate this trunking down here, and presumably in this trunking down here there are various thick copper wires that go along and under into here. This is an open piece of trunking, and then from that those wires will go up into this main switch. This is the main switch or circuit breaker for this entire floor. That cable from that bus bar feeds into the bottom of this circuit breaker, then out of this main circuit breaker or main switch, which would turn off this whole floor. Then we feed into each of these individual breakers. Again, there's a small bus bar here. that will feed off into these various circuit breakers, and it looks like there's an individual circuit breaker then for each of the apartments on this particular floor. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 20 apartments on this particular floor. Wow, it's getting hot in here. Sorry guys, I am sweating. They don't put AC in these rooms. You'd think that they'd care about electricians enough to put air conditioning in these main rooms, but they don't. Anyway, 20 circuit breakers here, and out of interest, we should be able to see what they're rated at. So rated at 50 amps. So essentially each of these flats has a 50 amp supply feeding it, and then out of this it goes into the energy meter for that flat. Now here, we get a naughty sneak peek inside. Again, I'm being very careful not to go anywhere near any live parts, but you can see that essentially, presumably out of the bottom of that board there, these cables come and then they loop up and through the meter, 2 wires going into the meter and then 2 wires going out, so live and neutral in, live and neutral out essentially. And bizarrely, these two have quite thick wires, whereas these ones have smaller wires. So I'm not quite sure why that is, whether these two have a slightly larger supply. I'm not quite sure on that. But yeah, it's really interesting to see the inner workings of a Thai apartment board. Now it's also interesting to note that these have all got meter seals on, and it looks like the tags are, the seals are properly numbered with a serial number, which is quite nice to see. Now I'm going to get out of here before I get arrested or something, but I do want to show you one last thing before I leave you, because it's really cool. Each of these lifts, whoa, that was close. Each of these lifts has some seriously cool tech in it. It's a kind of a security thing more than anything. Here is a screen, and the screen will recognise or not my face. So essentially, it's facial recognition on the security system here. Now I've got a security pass that I can just tag onto it. It works with like RFID or contactless. Because it's an Airbnb here, I'm not registered my face on the system. But it's very cool because anyone who does live in the block and whose face is registered, they'll automatically get picked up and they don't need to swipe in or anything, and then they can use the lift. Now, see what it does. It's not letting me. It says locked, right? So what I need to do is get my security pass, and then it'll let me actually use the lift.
Thank you.
So now that I've used my tag, it will let me use the lift and I can get to the floor that I want. Now on the ground floor of this building, there's something that takes a lot of electricity, something I was surprised and happy to see. Let me show you what it is. Now you all know my frustration when visiting flats in the UK when they've not prepared for the future. Oh man. Sorry, my ears popped. You know, coming down from the 40th floor to the first floor is surprisingly vertical. The altitude is significant actually on a building of this size. But what I wanted to show you is this. You know, when you're looking to get a flat and you're an EV owner, what do you want to know? You want to know that there are electric vehicle charging points, and here they have provisioned electric vehicle charging points, not just 2, but actually multiple electric vehicle charging points here. And what it means is that for EV drivers, they can come, they can power up their car. They're ABB chargers actually, which I fitted one at my house once, which is quite funny. And you literally just unholster and you can plug your car in. They've got about a 5-meter tethered cable on them. I don't know how it works in terms of payment. I'm guessing that you have to activate it using some kind of QR code. But these bays look really nice, actually, like really well built. And I'm guessing that these are 22 kilowatt chargers. Doesn't actually say the speed on there, but either way, great thing to see that here in Thailand they're actually future-proofing their buildings for EV drivers. So that's it guys, I hope you enjoyed this epic journey of discovery on this amazing building. Now, I'm going to be out in Asia for a while, so hit a thumbs up and subscribe if you have enjoyed this video, because I will be doing more content like this for you guys. If you do enjoy it, it's a little bit off the wall and different from what we usually do. We usually do fantastic bespoke electrics in the UK, but either way, hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know all your thoughts in the comments below. And if you did like this video, I have done a few other videos similar to this, so I'll pop them up on the screen now. Why not grab a cup of tea and watch? But either way, thank you, and I'll see you soon.